What's up, you guys? FSC Speed Shop. This is obviously not my normal freight. There's a long story behind it. Actually, quick story.
It's cleared.
Is it on there, like it's not overhanging?
Nope, you're good.
You know why it died?
You put it in gear and then you dropped
Put it in
it.
gear and the kickstand is down. This bike will shut off in gear with the kickstand on or down. Now it can't roll backwards.
Transmission's locked.
Well, she's on there. So long story, guys, there's a reason why we're loading up the bike on the trailer. That bike, as you can imagine in videos past, sorry if I get a little emotional, is my dad's bike. Like, my dad's still around, don't get me wrong, he's still around and kicking, but he's not healthy enough to ride anymore. So we'll go ahead and talk to my father, who's standing right here.
Hello, camera. How you doing? Well, I figure I went down once on a bike when I was 20. Hurt my left ankle. Went over a wet manhole cover. Surprise, surprise, they are slippery. And then my second accident that was me being stupid on the first one. Second accident was a lady cut me off with a Lincoln Town Car. It was either hit her 60 or hit the cornfield. I hit the cornfield. You stop in about 7 feet from 60. And you get the shit beat out of you. It hurts. So I took the stop. Lady kept going. A couple guys came and helped me fetch the motorcycle out of the cornfield. No damage to the bike. There was one broken mirror. That was a great big huge Honda 360. That was my first motorcycle. My Goldwing was my second. And my third was this Kawasaki. I think I had most pleasure on this Kawasaki. It's because of my hips and my age. The fact that you're like sitting in a rocking chair when you're on this bike, unlike the Goldwing, you're sitting like with a broom up your butt. Everything's at a right angle. It's hard to raise your right foot if it's at a right angle. This, you're in a rocking chair. To get to the brake pedal is easy because mainly your foot is, you're going to just pick up your toe and put it on the brake because you never raise your heel. You don't have to raise your heel. And of course this motorcycle has something called neutral finder. If you're in first gear and you go to find neutral, all you do is you trip it up, it stops at neutral and does not go to second because you were stopped. If you trip it up when you're moving, it goes from first gear to second gear. Kind of smart. First one I ever had to do that. It was excellent. Of course, there's no turn signal cancellation. So with a little bit of wire, an LED, and a couple switches, it lets you know it's blinking. Like it's bright, annoys you, even in bright sunlight. At night, you could turn it down because what's annoying in bright sunlight is blinding at midnight. So that's the... If you hold your brake, it stops blinking. Of course, you have to shut the turn signal off. It's just a reminder. That's it. This young guy is going to use it in good health. And hope he enjoys it just half as much as I did. That's about it. Now it's up on a trailer. I'm going to wave goodbye. Let me wave goodbye. Bye. By the way, he has a name. It's a Vulcan. So how many Vulcans do you know? I know one. His name is Mr. Spock.
All right.
So the motorcycle is Spock.
Will do.
And there's a little angel up there too. The angel starts clanging and a banging, whistling and howling at 72. That means you're traveling about 2 miles too fast. Or you're traveling 8 miles too slow. The option's yours. Okay, that all right?
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Grandpa.
You're welcome.
By the way, I forgot to mention, you talked about when you had that incident when you were like 20.
Yeah.
You're like 74 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been around the block a few times on these bikes.
Well, I once was over by Target here in Milltown, and this lady and her grandchild wanted to sit on the Goldwing. No problem, I just let him sit on it. Picked him up, put him on a Goldwing. She said, "How long you been riding?" I said, a half-a. She said, "What is a half-a?" I said, "A half a century. Been riding 53 years. This was a couple of years back. So now she knows what a half-a is.
And you've had all the grandkids
it's a
on
half
the
a
bike.
century, yeah.
Collectively, between the Goldwing and this one,
Yeah.
you've had every grandkid on there.
Yeah.
From Nikki to Chrissy to Sean to Matt.
Yeah.
So
Most amazing bike was Jerry's 650 Honda with the dual overhead cam.
that's my uncle. That's my mother's brother.
Dual overhead cam really wakes up a 650. Let me tell you, it's like there's another engine down there. Same engine, just a different head setup. And that's the rest of the story. What else can I? Oh, he's got a stereo on it too, which is gonna not be used for a while for some reason. It's dangerous. You end up farting with the stereo instead of watching where you're going. That is all.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and load her up, strap her down, and get on down the line. Got to pick up some more freight, and then that'll be the end of this video. So with that, let's go ahead and
Take care,
secure it and tie it down and be ready. And then, oh yeah, obviously we're in New Jersey where I grew up at the house, so we're going to get pizza, like real pizza, not that crap they sell in Wisconsin. That, granted, the best cheese comes from Wisconsin, but they don't know what to do with it.
This motorcycle reminds me of the best 2 days in ownership of a boat. It's all motorcycle in there too. The day you buy it
And the day you sell
and the
it.
day you sell it. So this is one of those golden days. This is one of those sell it days. Price is right too.
No, definitely.
Definitely.
Price is right.
Take care.
Will do.
All right, guys, we got Spock here tied down, ready to go. Reason why it's on the back is because we're going to unload this first before we go home. Then we're going to go ahead and unload the Vulcan, but we'll actually detach the trailer and ride it right off. Although we could side unload it if we have to, same way we loaded it this way at the shop. Either way will work. Matthew and Grandpa are up in the garage right now. They're trying to get the last little bit of things, oil filters, oil, different miscellaneous parts Grandpa accumulated for it. Long story short, if you guys go way back in the video description right here, also the thumbnail, you see a little ride. Now, that's not a monetized video. That was way back when the channel first started. I was able to ride the Harley with my dad. He rode this. Obviously, I rode my Harley. Yeah, it gets dirty. 1,000 miles to do that to it. I'll have to wash it later. But it was been a goal of mine for many years back when my father, he had a heart attack. Literally, I was in the Air Force, and after the heart attack and heart surgery, he felt a lot better. So he went and got the Gold Wing, started riding around with my mom a lot. And I always wanted to, it was a dream of mine to buy my own bike one day and then ride with my dad. And it took many years, but I finally did. So I bought my Harley, and I was able to, actually my father, it's a long story short, but my dad actually rode my Harley, liked the controls. The feel of the controls were a lot better than the Gold Wing that he was riding. So he decided to buy this because this is the very similar controls with the foot pedal the way it is, the shifter the way it is, the way you sit low in the seat. He liked all of that. So the idea was that he was going to buy a bike just like that, but he didn't want a big, powerful Harley. He wanted this. So, and for the riding he was going to do for the remainder of the time he was riding, that was the perfect bike for him. So literally for the last 3 years, he's been him and hawing about getting rid of it and giving it to Mathew, or maybe giving it to my sister. But my sister likes sport bikes, and that really wouldn't work. And Matt was pretty young, and Dad still had some crap left in him to go riding. So we were like, Dad, just, if you ride it, you ride it. If you don't, you don't. Well, that was about 3 years ago. And he took it out a few times, but he finally made the decision he's done riding. He just doesn't want to risk laying it down in his health. If something happens to him, that's just all bad. So you got to bear in mind, my dad rides in Jersey. It's not like riding in Wisconsin. You go through cornfields and whatever fields are out there and whatnot. There's just nothing out there. Out here in New Jersey, literally, it's like combat riding. It's two totally different worlds. So for a 74-year-old man, you got the oxygen hose. Really ain't a good idea riding anymore. And it's emotional for me because I don't like that idea. It's just hanging it up's rough, But he's happy with the decision he made. Obviously, Matt's thrilled to death with it. So for a while, Matt's going to have to learn to ride with me because I'll have the keys. He won't ride it by himself as he's riding with me. So that's how it'll be. But either way, here we go. Here it is. Of course, got Orwell up front doing all the hauling as usual. So there it is. We're going to go ahead and eat some New Jersey pizza and haul ass. Okay.
Bike has what's called a neutral finding system. You put it in a gear and it'll blink till I manually cancel it. That's what's missing on the motorcycle. Automatic cancellation. Other than that, I got my little ornament. When that rattles, I'm going too fast. And of course, they said cloudy was beautiful all morning. And now that we're going riding, guess what? It's raining.
It's no different when I put the boat in the water. It always attracts rain.
Rain. Drop.
Yeah.
Ready to go?
Oh, yeah. Cool. All right, so here's mine. Obviously, I arrived late last night after riding with Tanya and Tom, and we're getting ready to go. I'll just have a little bit of water on my face. No different than when we take the boat out. It rains. Yeah, it gets dirty. 1,000 miles to do that to it. I'll have to wash it later. So, well, we got over here to Sayreville boat launch just to have somewhere to go. And the other thing too is, well, here's the docks over here where you launch your boat. You'll laugh, but sometimes we come over here for entertainment. It's a nice little ride just to get the bikes out, just do something, hang out with my father. But anyway, over here's the boat launch, and well, sometimes watching people launch boats, well, that can be very entertaining because some people just don't know how to back up, don't know what they're doing. I'm not sure what kind of bike my father owned. The first bike he had was obviously well before me, back in the 60s when he was in the Air Force. But over the years, he's evolved to a few bikes. And then when I was a kid, I don't remember exactly what year, but he bought a Goldwing, the 85 Goldwing that I have now. And he rode that around a lot. He bought it from an old guy that had the last name, I forget, first or last name. My father would just refer to him as Murphy. Anyway, Murphy didn't ride the bike a heck of a lot, and then he wanted to get a new one. He used to take it to and from Florida, and that's pretty much it. So my father bought it off of him. All right, so now we're still over at the Sayreville boat ramp. I figured I'd tell a story about the bike and what my dad's riding and why he's riding it, and let him tell a story better. Your first bike was what when you were in the Air Force?
360 Honda CB.
Any idea what year that was?
65.
Okay, and you've progressed in bikes since then, obviously.
Yeah, well, we started with Jerry's 650 dual overhead cam. I had that for a summer. Jerry didn't want it.
Jerry being my uncle, my mother's brother.
My wife's brother, correct. His mother's brother. Yeah. And that was a quick little rocket, dual overhead cam. Nice performer for 650. And then I gave it back to him. That took care of that. AJ and I owned a bike. It was a smaller bike. I think it was in the 500 region.
AJ is his best friend, his equivalent to a guy I know as Bino, basically brothers from another mother.
Yeah, that's about it. We bought this bike together. It was another. I'm sorry, I got to go back. Throw the whole thing. There was a 160 in the Air Force.
Okay.
AJ's and mine was a 360.
Okay.
When we bought together, it was in his garage. We put low ape hangers on it. Nice little bike. Not a lot of power. It'd do 60 maybe.
That's the one you had to lay down on to go any kind of speed?
Yeah, no, that was the one in the Air Force. Yeah,
oh, okay.
160 just barely would do 60. It would look better than walking. So
you wound up with an 85 Goldwing, which I now have.
Yep. Bought that in Westfield from a guy named Bob Murphy.
Okay, that's what I couldn't remember. Was Murphy was first or last name, but I remember Murphy.
Bob Murphy. And he sold me the book, the high seat, the low seat, a whole bunch of stuff came with the bike. Bike had made its way to Florida under Murphy's control, and he had it decaled, stenciled,
pinstriped.
Pinstriped.
Yeah, custom pinstripe done by a guy named Snakey. It says on it Snakey 89 on the back of the bike. All right, so here's the bike. Had you seen the same bike he was riding earlier when I took the shots before we left home? How this came to be is I let him ride my Harley, which is the bike right over here, obviously. And he liked the controls, the way it's lower to the ground, meaning the seat to the ground's lower. And it's just a better position for his feet to ride on the footboards right there. Basically, it rides identical to my Harley, except it's about half the price and being 900 cc compared to 1690 cc, which is what 103 cubic inches. It's perfect for him because he doesn't drive any major speed on the highway. He doesn't go on the highway. Just putts around and enjoys riding around in town. So for the riding my dad does, this is the ultimate bike for him. Still a V-twin. It's got a nice little wrap to it. Oh yeah, okay, this also is water cooled compared to the air cooled, so he doesn't have to worry about idling in Chicago traffic like I did. And you can see your radiator. I forgot about that detail. All right, well, caught a little bit of rain heading back.
Not too bad.
Now we're home. So if the weather clears off, it really ain't bad, but you see the street where it rained a little. If it quits raining for a little while, and depending on how my mom's back is, well, worst case, let's go around the block, I guess. We'll give it a try. A trip over to... That wasn't here when I was growing up. This garage right here is where I built my first engine with my father. It was a Dodge Aries little 4-cylinder, 2.2 liter. Where is it? There it is, way up there. You zoom in. See that hole? See the mark? There was a... Right where that hole is, there's a mark where a steel bracket went. We hung it on that, on his father's old chain fall. This is where the first engine got built. Right here, this is FSC. OG FSC. Right here in this little garage. Well, the game plan was we were going to go riding. That's probably not going to happen today, not by the look of things. My mother, this one right here.
Hi guys.
Plan was we were going to go riding today. We didn't yesterday because it was raining a little bit, and today obviously it's raining a bunch more. So this is what's left of Hurricane Florence. It, you know, went inland and came up north, and here it is. It's raining. Well, not like unprecedented rain, but definitely enough to not want to ride on the motorcycle. We're coming back from, well, the reason why I even came to New Jersey on the bike to begin with, so we're returning now. And unless the weather breaks and dries up, I'm not leaving till tomorrow, and I guess Mom's not going to get a ride today. So, no ride today, Ma?
No ride.
No?
Catch you next time.
Yep, that'll be on a future video. So, we're going to meet my father at Olive Garden, get some grub, and then see what on the rest of it. See what's cooking for the rest of the day. Thank you for watching. As always, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Our riding time is over for this particular trip, but there will be more fun, hijinks, and excitement to come. I am Steve Festjack. This is FSC, Festjack Speed and Custom Shop. This is actually OG Festjack Speed and Custom Shop. Back when I was a kid, this is where it all started. How else can I inspire you to get your toys out and come out here with me? 72 now? 72. Still up riding a motorcycle in New Jersey, which is like combat zone riding. He doesn't, like I said, he doesn't do the highway deal, so.